Stevens. Senator Seward.
Thank you, Mr Deputy President. I rise too to take note of Report 25 on the Australian Charities and Not-for-Profit Commission. This is an issue that I have invested a significant amount of time and energy into making sure that we had a strong ACNC, and I, like Senator Stevens, and I acknowledge the amount of work that Senator Stevens did in developing up a lot of the work on getting the ACNC off the ground. I'm extremely disappointed to see the announcement today, and also further to see that the government amended their own social services and other legislation at 1 minute to midnight to inject into another provision into that piece of legislation that they're rushing through this place next week, or trying to, where we get less than a week to review, snuck in the provision to delay the start of the Charities Act 2013 so that in order to start doing in the ACNC. This is the bill that we passed through this place not that long ago to put in place a definition of charities and to put in certain other protections for charities, including advocacy. And today, or last night, we had Mr Mel Bruff in the other place talking about the need for transparency and accountability of not-for-profit organisations. Oh, haven't we got a body that deals with that right now? It's called the Australian Charities and Not-for-Profit Commission. And that's at the same day, his minister then introduces legislation to actually help get rid of the very body that increases transparency and accountability for our hundreds of thousands of not-for-profit organisations that operate in this country. And so this isn't about improved accountability and transparency of the not-for-profit organisations. This is about taking away, when they take away the NCAC, what they're doing is taking away the body that ensures that we have better transparency and accountability. The objects of that organisation are to maintain, protect and enhance public trust and confidence in the Australian not-for-profit sector. I would say to you that what Mr Bruff was doing yesterday and today in the media was smearing the not-for-profit organisations of this country by implying that they use heaps of funds for administration. That's about smearing those organisations, undermining those organisations. Next step will be, what do they do about advocacy? What do they do about the advocacy of these organisations? Australian organisations, not-for-profit organisations, should be very concerned that this government is coming for them. By getting rid of the ACNC, they're getting rid of the organisation that does ensure and build public confidence and trust in our not-for-profit sector. The ACNC is also about supporting and sustaining a robust, vibrant, independent and innovative Australian not-for-profit sector, and also to promote the reduction of unnecessary regulatory obligations on the Australian not-for-profit sector. Now, if I wanted to tie up the Australian not-for-profit sector, you know the way I'd do that? I'd get the ATO to be looking after them. And that's what the government's going to do. That's what the government's going to do, is going to be getting the Australian Taxation Office, because that's inevitably what's going to happen when you get rid of the ATO, when you get rid of ACNC, is take us back to the dark old days when the ATO was the regulator and the decision-maker. It's a revenue raiser, but it's also the decision-maker on your status as a tax-exempt organisation or DGR, or in charge of the DGR. That's what this government's about. It's actually not about, it's pretending it's about promoting a vibrant sector. It's not. It's about putting it under more red tape. The ACNC has a statutory duty to report to Parliament about cutting red tape. That's what the ACNC is supposed to be doing. Why would the government then move to get rid of it? Yes, there are problems, as there are always teething problems in getting organisations started. But as Senator Stevens said, they have now got the registered thousands of organisations are now registered. They're getting in their information statements, and they're starting to run a process that is going to be effective and working into the long term. This government is not about a vibrant sector. It's about trying to tie them up, and it's about smearing them and getting rid of thorns in their side. Nobody should be fooled about where this government's coming from.